of the Women's 71 Kilo Championship of Europe. I'm David Goldstrom, together with Michaela Breeze, and a really competitive field. We're going to pick up the action in the snatch, and we're picking it up, as you can see, with Veronika Mitko of Hungary. Well, Michaela, this the best performance in the snatch phase in the B group, right at the beginning of the day, 96 kilos.
Yeah, 96 was a solid lift from the B group, that's for sure. Took that into the A group. That's the weight that needs to be surpassed.
On to the clean and jerk. And Eleni Kotalidou of Greece. This her third attempt at the clean and jerk, 112, 115, and 115, this her third attempt. 109, 112, and this, the third attempt, a good attempt as well.
Yeah, a little soft in the overhead position, but nonetheless it was good enough to take the lead on the clean and jerk.
Yes, and that gave her a total of 201, but it wasn't the best total in the B group. And so we move to the A group and Alessia Durante on the stage with a snatch, an opening snatch at 93 kilos. At this point in the competition, Gentari Brazet of Lithuania on 92 kilos. But of course, those 96 kilos from the Hungarian lifter, Veronika Mitko, at the moment keeping her in the lead in this early stage of this competition. So now on to Ilya Hernandez for Spain. Third in the European Under-23 Championships a couple of years ago. This is a very competitive class, just 9 kilos the spread when you compare the lowest and the highest entry totals. So every lift will really count this afternoon. Oh dear.
Oh dear, to that right arm buckling underneath her. There's no point in even trying to recover from that. Once the arm goes, it's going to be a no lift anyway. So that's the first hiccup on the board for Ilya Hernandez, representing Spain. She'll probably come out for the same weight again. We just take a look at her left arm as we look at it. There was a bend in it, and that caused the weight to go south.
Of course, everybody back home in Great Britain, eyes on Emily Godley for Great Britain, particularly after the fantastic performance 24 hours ago of Sarah Davis, getting 3 brilliant silver medals and lifetime bests, and that will have given the whole British camp a real boost. And hopefully Emily also, Michaela, she won't be out for a while, but she hasn't had the best of preparations, has she?
It's been very, very tough. She's a lifter in her more mature years, almost certainly coming towards the end of her career, and we just wonder whether the move in the Olympic Games to to be delayed for a whole year is a real psychological challenge for her to hang on that bit longer for this goal that she's been dreaming about for so many years.
Hernandez, third and final attempt. 93 kilos. Remember, the lifter in the B group still at this moment in charge of this competition. So Hernandez needs to stay in touch, and to do that, she must make this. Much better.
And a smile of relief there as she nails the 93 on her third attempt. So 2 from 3, not a bad day in the office, really good recovery. Frustration as always, but maintains a great position off the floor. Good extension, sits into a great squat position. What is a great squat position? Your backside needs to be right down on your heels as low as you can go. Back nice and straight, bar directly above the shoulders.
Well, still early days, and here representing Romania, just 20 years of age, moving up from 64 kilos to 71. Valucha Andrea Olaru, 94 kilos on the bar. Good lift.
That looked very easy. Technically very efficient, as have been most of the Romanians thus far in these championships. Young as well, but really, really executed. Let's take a look technically. Great off the floor. Explosion in and out of that extended position so fast, and that's what gave her plenty of time to drop underneath the bar. Really good lifting from Olaru.
Yeah, she was a 58-kilo European youth champion, and that was the first signs of good things to come. Now, hopefully, fingers crossed, good things to come from Emily Godley. Silver medalist 2 years ago, and starting her campaign on 94 kilos. This her first attempt. The 2018 75-kilo Commonwealth Games champion.
Yes,
Lovely.
Emily. Absolutely
Lovely.
fantastic.
Nicely done.
That looked easy as well, didn't it? I mean, you know, she was very modest in the chat I had briefly on Instagram a few days ago, and she said, you know, training this year has been really, really tough. It's been hard to stay focused. She's been training in isolation for a lot of the time, but look at that. So much upward momentum on the bar. Well done.
And that 94 kilos puts her up into second place behind Raluca Olaru of Romania. And that is an expensive Lithuanian miss at 94 kilos. Or Gintari Brazet.
Everything just looked to be forward, slightly rounded in the chest as she comes off the floor. The weight was drifting onto the toes. Got to be driving through balance. Look at this. There we are. Sits a long way back at the top, kicks the bar forwards. The shoulders need to be maintained above the bar throughout the lift.
So good start by Emily. Of course, Michaela was out in Australia with her husband. He was working out there, but had to come back to Great Britain with the very, very sad news of her mother passing away, and that just made it even more difficult. You can't imagine, really, can you?
No, not at all. It's been an exceptionally tough year for Emily, and Joe Muscat by her side is he's the rock there to help keep things going. But she seems to have found a focus here at these championships.
Now this is Kireva going for 95 kilos. And she's going to get 3 white lights for that.
Yes, she is not the tidiest of lifts, depending on which angle we get. If you see from the front, you'll see she came off almost like the bar was misloaded. It was lopsided. But she managed to sit very, very deep into the squat position to stabilize the bar overhead. Yeah, very, very deep. Look at that. Just a fraction of a gap between the backside and the platform. Only the feet are allowed to touch the platform.
So Maria Kireva, another youngster, only 20, 4th in the European Juniors 2 seasons ago. Just a reminder, none of these athletes have been in a serious platform competition for well over a year. Now, this is Anna Famino representing Sweden. She was 4th also 2 years ago in the European Juniors. As a personal best at 83 kilos, so already you can see a lot of improvement.
once again.
Let's take a look at those numbers there. 86, there must have been some issue with the coaching backstage. Only go to 87. Chances are she missed or the coaches missed the time to change the weight, trying to make up the deficit. Huge jump up to 95, but unfortunately nowhere near.
Well, that would have been a useful few kilos over her personal best. It would have been 5, in fact, over a personal best, but not to be. And it knocks her back to 92 kilos. And in this snatch phase, the lifts are beginning to run out.
Yeah, immensely powerful in the legs, but too much of a swing on the bar. You cannot afford to throw the shoulders behind the bar and not have a swing on it.
Now, representing Italy, just 21, the reigning European junior champion, Alessia Durante. Personal best, 95 kilos.
Oof.
Well, that was powerful.
Very powerful, but she only just snuck underneath. That bar barely travelled high enough to drop under. This is a personal best attempt, as you just said. Talk about meeting the bar at the bottom. She did exactly that. There's not many more kilos there. But that was a tremendous second attempt for a new personal best.
I'll tell you what, you've got the Romanian with 2 attempts to come. Emily's got a couple of attempts to come as well. It's becoming a bit of a crowded house here, and we've said it on so many occasions, Michaela. Really, we're now down to the point where you just can't afford to fail.
Oh, it's so close, and I'm getting really nervous here for Emily. I'm really wishing her the very best today. I hope all the hard work pays off. Time will tell.
So Raluca up to 97 kilos. Now remember, this is the lifter who has moved up from 64 kilos, but as you said, we've noted all the way through these championships, the Romanians very well prepared. So an attempt at a personal best, and this for the lead.
No.
How valuable is that lost life?
Well, that is a huge mistake from Olaru of Romania. That would have been really putting the pressure on Emily Godley. So good for Emily, not good for Romania. It was an easy miss, if that's such a thing. It flew to arm's length, only fractionally in front. She'll get that, but she's looking good.
Just got to point out here, Veronica Mitiko of Hungary, we're forgetting she got 96 kilos, so right up there, in a sense, vying for the medals if there's a lot of failures here. Now, Emily, 97 kilos. First lift was cool, calm, collected, and quietly impressive.
Oh, no.
No lift. Again, 97 kilograms.
David, she knows she's capable of this. We know she's capable. She's put these kind of numbers overhead before. She's got to dig deep, though. That was lacking a bit in the leg strength department. Jumping away from the bar, leaving it out in front.
And Maria Kireva. The all-important extra kilo.
No lift.
Well, I'm not sure where Veronica is, Michaela, but she must be watching this from somewhere with some excitement.
Totally. She's in the gold medal position still with only 3 lifters left in the competition, and they only have 1 attempt remaining each. She's in a really strong position, and we didn't even see her lift. What a shame.
Well, last throw of the dice here for Durante. 93, 96, going for 97, and she's got it. 97 kilos. Good lift.
Well, that was a gutsy effort. Yet again, another personal best, and yet again, she snuck under the bar. Just about got there. I was looking to see, was there a press out in her right arm? Can't see from this angle, but it looked, well, the referees were happy. There was some wobbling. That takes the lead.
So now, Michaela, Raluca Olaru and Emily Godley have got a couple of decisions to make. 97 kilos won't win them the competition. They're both going to have to go up at least a kilo. And the question, they're both on 3rd attempts. Who's going to come out first? It's going to be the Romanian, Raluca Olaru. So Emily Godley will have the last lift in this first half. So 98 kilos. So again, new territory, effectively, for all the women in this latter stage of this competition. So this to go into the lead.
Godley.
98 kilos, that looked good to me.
That looks awesome. Shame there's not a 4th attempt, or shame she missed the 2nd. There's definitely more kilos there, but she takes the lead. Now the question is, what will Emily do? Will she come out on the same weight and go for silver on the snatch, or will she risk it? I think it's probably a bit too risky to go up, but this was superb technically. Loads of power, great position underneath the bar.
Well, it must be tempting for Emily, but 98 kilos it is. And that probably is the right decision at this point in the competition. So tempting to go for the gold when it's so close, but she's looking at the bigger prize.
Yes!
And that's terrific. Yeah, that's it. Michaela, good decision, well executed.
Oh, I'm so happy for Emily. I mean, we cannot even imagine the hardship she's been through this year. And you can just see the emotion in her face. They're just so pleased. Such focus. And this is a lifter who was desperate for a chance at the Olympic Games last year. The delay has meant she's got to stay with the sport and keep going. We don't know how much longer she's going to carry on, but this was tremendous. Silver medal for Emily Godley.
Yeah, and the 4th silver medal for Britain in the space of 24 hours. And fingers crossed, Michaela, with her sort of clean and jerk, arguably more to come. This battle between Romania and Great Britain is going to go on.
Yeah, let's hope it's Britain celebrating at the end. But looking at the start list.
Well, the clean and jerk already underway, and this is Berfin Altun from Turkey. First attempt at 115 kilos. So not a bad start for her. Just a reminder from the B group earlier in the day, 115 kilos collected by Eleni Kotelidou, and because she got to that weight first, she is in the lead according to the rules of the game. So this puts this young Turkish woman into the silver medal position, but early days. So Alessia Durante, bronze medal on 97 kilos, very tight at the halfway stage in the competition. And Durante, also a very good start from her on 115. Just to reflect, Raluca Olaru and Emily Godley at the halfway stage, 80 kilos, 98 kilos apiece.
Doesn't waste any time, does she, between the clean and the jerk? Lovely straight dip, good drive to arm's length, technically very precise.
Yeah, just to emphasize, between the first 5 at the halfway stage, only 3 kilos, so all to play for here. Now, Sweden, Anna Famino. A long way down. Remember, she had that very exaggerated third attempt in the snatch, moving up from 87 to 95, which didn't work. So, trying to get something out of the clean and jerk.
No lift.
Not really her day, is it?
No, not good enough. Technically, just not sharp enough, not tight enough in her positions, and that is demonstrated by the position as she stood out of the clean. Very rounded in the back. Just lacking the composure. Yeah, dips and splits, just doesn't get any leg drive.
Interesting having a look at the posted opening weights. Emily Godley posted 115 as her opener, and Raluca Olaru, who took the gold, 110. So Emily's posted the heaviest opener in the clean and jerk. Let's hope that bodes well.
Yeah, I think as with the snatch, we're likely to see some of these starting weights from some of the lifters increase. There's a whole lot more to a competition than just lifting on the platform. There's a game that goes on backstage with the coaches trying to psych each other out almost. The lifters themselves won't get involved backstage too much. They'll just let the coaches worry about that.
So Ilya Hernandez, who set a 6-kilo personal best in the first half of the competition, comes forward with 93 kilos. She's in 6th place at the halfway stage. So Hernandez opening up here at 116 kilos. That's good, 209, surpasses everybody in the B group, sets a new personal best, and this competition is now on its way.
Yes, it is, David. Technical precision here, moving really smoothly. Not many mistakes made. She lost a bit of tape, I think. Oh, it was a bit of tape she had on her shin. The loaders will clear that off the platform for the next attempt. Nice straight dip. Bar nicely over shoulders. Couple of steps forward just to compensate for the hips being behind the bar, but stands still in the end.
David Sanchez for Spain, a splendid bronze last night. First medal for Spain. That was good. Now here's Anna Famino. The bar's gone up a kilo here. Mikhailo, can't quite work out the strategy of the Swedes.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm sold on what they're doing here. I mean, you know, fair play if she gets it, but the snatch was a little bit hit and miss. The clean and jerk just doesn't look, as I said, to be sharp enough technically. Let's hope for the best.
Well, it would be a personal best, and it would be something of something to take away from this competition. And no, can't clean. And they need to rethink, I think, how they go about this, because that hasn't been a particularly good afternoon.
No, she's a good lifter. To be hitting these kind of numbers, I think just maybe a little bit to polish up technically. And also from the coaching, I'd like to know what went on between the first and second snatches. Just a 1 kilo increase. That to me says only one thing, that there's been a mistake backstage.
Yeah, she's only 23, so there's time on her side to make these corrections. But some work to do back home. So the bar moving on to 117 kilos. Now, this is just a kilo below this young lady's personal best. Gold medal from the first half of the competition. It's there, but I wonder how much more.
I thought that looked pretty comfortable. I mean, we'll see. It's not just about the weights now as well. It's about dealing with the pressure. And she's young. She's relatively inexperienced at this level. So it's more to just executing on the platform. You've got to really hold it together psychologically. Stands well, adjusts the hand positioning. And the jerk was lovely overhead, as we've seen so often from the Romanians.
Here's another lifter who's coming down in weight class from 75 kilos. Natalia Prisepa, representing Moldova. No. Trying to make up ground. That would have given her a total of, what would that have been, 209, but she's left on 206.
Yeah, she worked very hard here to stand with a clean. That was a big effort, kept the bar moving at the bottom, which was the right thing to do. Just not enough in the tank for today. She'll have to be content with the previous weight.
Well, the main course is now just around the corner. Well, the way things are going, Michaela, it looks like Emily Godley is going to come in at well over 120 kilos for her starting weight.
Well, let's hope so. She's going to need those kind of numbers.
That's much, much better.
It's very
That's the
slow,
best lift
though.
I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's just something missing in it. I don't know, I'm looking for something a little bit better. Technically, very, very tall lifter for this category, and that does not go in her favour. That's a long way for the bar to travel, but she, you know, the clean was good, but the jerk just looks to lack that bit of spark. Maybe she didn't move her feet wide enough. Very strong, though.
Well, that's 3 out of 3 in the clean and jerk for Brezet. Gives her a total of 210. So the overall target increasing now as Altun. 119 kilos. This for her second attempt, a good first attempt at 115. Quite workmanlike.
Yeah. Little wave to her teammates. They're about the only people that are allowed in this audience to support. There's literally nobody here. It's a very, very difficult situation or circumstances to lift in. Little rounded in the back as she hits full extension. Doesn't quite get maximum extension. Jerk is good. Front knee lunges slightly forwards. Could do with that front foot moving a couple of inches further.
Yeah, this is an interesting class. There's a lot of youth, but also a fair amount of experience. Hernandez, she's in the middle of the range at 24 years of age. So Hernandez. Second attempt, 119. Oh. Well, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, you got to question what was going on there. Was that a mistiming issue or a psychology issue? Let's take another look. Let's see if she's out of position. I think she came off too quickly. There was nowhere for her to explode from. Oh, well, she's got one attempt remaining. We'll see whether it's psychology or whether it's technical when the next attempt comes. Even so, having deadlifted that, even if it was a technical thing and you mistimed it, then it's still going to require a tremendous amount of focus to come out again. Dave Sawyer just changing the weight for Emily Godley, so she's going to be going up, that's for sure.
It's interesting though, Hernandez, you know, she only got 93 kilos in the first phase in the snatch, but the clean and jerk is clearly where she's happy. Now, were she to make amends, so to speak, and pick up this 119 kilos, she'd actually have a total of 212. That's her present target at the moment, and that would be a 7-kilo personal best in terms of the overall number of kilos that she's lifted in her competitive life on a platform.
Let's wish her all the best.
So a bit of a test here for her, mentally as well as physically.
Well, whatever's going on, she's certainly having a stern word with herself.
Well, there's a bit of fire, that's a good sign. Better clean. Yes, very good, well done. 212 kilos.
That's right, that was a great recovery, whether it was psychological or whether just a missed time on the previous lift. She put it behind her and was able to refocus, and at last we see the smiles. Relief that that's over. A glance sideways to the clock. There's a clock on the stage, so the lifters know exactly how long they have left. When they're called to the platform, they have 1 minute to start the lift.
Yeah, even though she produced a personal best in the snatch phase, that's where she's leaked the all-important kilos to be really competitive for the overall. Now, Alessia Durante has looked pretty good, this young Italian. So, Durante. And that is there.
Very, very impressed with how she's moving, David. Had quite a long wait between first and second attempts. Has managed to come out here and keep her composure. Be nice to have a camera backstage just so we can keep an eye on what these lifters are doing between lifts as well. I know it's difficult when there's so much going on the platform. Pretty good lifting.
There are cameras backstage.
Show us. As we're hotting up, as we're getting closer, let's see how Emily's getting on.
Yeah, and my reckoning is that's 217 goes into the overall lead, and now Olaru of Romania. Also on 120 kilos. So that's, what is that, 117? 112, 117, 120.
120, yeah. But so that was a big ask on the last attempt. I think that's a personal best, but she stood. She really had to work hard to stand with a clean. This is an effort to get out of the hole. She does well, and good composure to execute the jerk. Very, very impressed with the Romanians. If you're looking for technical lifting, that's the team to watch. You could pick any one of their lifters.
Well, this is the moment of truth now, because Olaru has finished her lifting, 218. She's gone into the overall lead. Durante and Godley. Godley still to play her cards, but before that, Altun of Turkey, looking for 121 kilos.
Looks like Emily's gone to 122.
So 4-kilo increase. Altun is lifting well.
Very well. That's 3 out of 3 on the clean and jerk. 3 out of 3. You know, she was down a little on the snatch. That's why she's out of contention for the overall medals, but she's put herself up into medal position here on the clean and jerk. Some great lifting, really dug deep here, drifted onto her toes slightly on the dip, but managed to get her body underneath.
Yeah, 121 overtakes Olaru, overtakes Hernandez. And that is a very worthwhile consolation prize. And we don't know yet. Could be, who knows how good it could be. But now, Emily Godley. Now, remember, she posted 115, but she's coming in at 122. Equal with Olaru at the halfway stage. But, of course, this, Mikhailo, is going to put her right into first place.
Yeah, straight into the lead with this one. Come on, Emily. Easy.
220 kilos, Mikhailo. She leads the competition.
Didn't that look comfortable? Well done, Emily. So the pressure, I say the pressure is off. Of course it's not off. It's not off until the last weight's down. But that was very businesslike. Good position off the floor. Jumps back a little. That's because his shoulders, in my view, are a bit too far forwards off the floor. But the jerk, look at that. And landed it. An absolute machine. How much further can she go? How much further does she need to go?
I'll tell you what, on the evidence of that, Mikhailo, I know Durante's here. We might have to be thinking about British achievements of the past, because it's been a while. Start getting your thinking hat on, because we've got to wind the clock back a few years. But let's not take anything for granted. Durante, 122 kilos on the bar. Now there's a lifter having the time of her life.
Totally, but let's just make a note here. She doesn't take the lead on the clean and jerk because Emily Godley got there first. She's only a kilo down on Emily after the snatch. So the thing is now she can't go any further. She's used all of her cards. So yeah. Is Emily there? She's done it. She has done it. She's done it.
She's done it. Yeah. Sorry, I was confused. I thought she was still in there, but in fact she's got a total of 219, and Emily, with just that first lift, has taken the gold medal.
Well, when was it? When was the last gold medal from a British lifter at senior Europeans?
Now, I know Myrtle. Now, remind me, come on.
Myrtle, 1995. Now, goodness me, I was a kid at the time. She was one of our top lifters and a true inspiration. First British lifter to ever snatch 100 kilos. Myrtle Augie. Well, Emily Godley now joins her in that league.
Have a look at this, 7-kilo increase. She's got Britain Gold medal for what is that, 25 years? I just work out the maths now. 25, 26 years?
Unreal. Come on, Emily, this is a big one. Let's go, 129.
That is fine. Enjoy, Michaela.
Yes, it's there.
It is there, isn't it? For one moment I was uncertain, but that is terrific. So,
well, there is your champion. Unbelievable performance from Emily Godley. Well done. Britain's first gold medal at European Championships for well over 2 decades. Myrtle was the last one, 1995.
And she was a heavier lifter, wasn't she?
Myrtle was a super heavyweight. So Emily at just 71 body weight. Truly outstanding. And she's still got one left.
Is Emily lifting more kilos than Myrtle?
Yes,
I got
she
a funny
is. Yes,
feeling she might be, hasn't she?
She is, yeah. Let me just have a little look here. So, okay, so
Well,
Judy Oakes won gold in 1990, Myrtle in 95. Emily's total at 71 exceeds Myrtle's. Myrtle did 215 at super heavyweight, and that information is courtesy of Dan Kent. Thank you, Dan, for giving us a quick update on that. The last
so
men's. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. Give us that. Interesting. Last men's.
Last men's gold for Great Britain.
Just to say, while you're doing that, Emily and the coaches, Stu Martin, Andy Keller, Dave Sawyer, looks like they're going for over 130 here. So, these are personal best marks by a big chalk.
Well, these are here I'll tell you what she's doing now, very quickly. She's got to wait, I think, until tomorrow's competition, the women's 76. That's the Olympic category. That's where she needs to be for Olympic Games. So, yes, she's hit the 129. Yes, she's gold medalist, but Emily needs every single kilo she can get to put herself in the best possible place to qualify for the Olympic Games. She won't know. Even after this, we still don't know if it's good enough. But I do have the numbers for you. Right back to 1965, the last men's gold at European Seniors, Louis Martin.
Come on, let's go, come on.
Well, Emily Godley is in illustrious company, 132 kilos. Okay, she's asking herself a very big question, but Michaela has explained exactly what both Emily and the coaches are all about. But this is a very big question, Michaela.
Oh, she believes in herself. And regardless of what year she's had, this is everything. She's leaving nothing behind. She's wants a place in Tokyo.
Got to clean this well, and just a little bit too much pressure. But she is champion of Europe, Emily Godley for Great Britain, and she adds a gold in the clean and jerk, a gold overall, and remember she's got a silver from the snatch phase to add to Sarah Davis's very significant achievements of yesterday. So Britain, thanks to their women, really strong and striving. Well done, Emily.
And if anyone deserves a place in Tokyo, it's Emily. She's not had the easiest of careers, but my goodness me, has she worked hard. Huge congratulations.
7 kilos clear of Alessia Durante of Italy. And then Altun Berfin, strong in the clean and jerk, coming through to get a personal best and grab that very important bronze medal. And Olaro, who got the gold in the snatch phase, just missing out. So to the overall medals, I'll give you those momentarily. Emily Godley with a total of 227, 98, 129, 227. Here it is. And she wins the competition by 8 big kilos ahead of Alessia Durante, with Raluca Olaru of Romania on 218 and Ilya Hernandez